Fudge has been one of the best stories of the LCS so far this year. His story arc with Cloud9 in 2021 has been straight out of an anime, getting beat down by an Arch Nemesis in the first act, and then putting his head down and grinding his way all the way back to redemption. The villain Fudge had to overcome was Team Liquid's Alphari, who had completely dismantled him back in January in the finals of the lock-in tournament. In that best-of-5 series, Alphari destroyed Fudge in lane, handing Fudge an average minus 738 gold plus experience difference in 10 minutes. Fudge's laning was marked by moments like this, where he took unnecessary turret damage and lost his flash.
Trade's gonna start to get bad, so Fudge is now in some trouble. He might just...
Or this, where he went for a level 1 all-in that allowed Alphari to set up a wave bounce, leading to an easy first blood gank for Santorin soon after, and a series of continuation plays throughout the rest of that game.
Barrels are already placed down, Alphari's going in. This is surely first blood here. Make sure Santorin slaps him at least once for the assist.
The gap in laning ability between Alphari and Fudge was a big factor in Team Liquid's victory over Cloud9 in that lock-in best-of-5, and TL's 2 wins over C9 in the spring regular season. But fast forward 70 days and Fudge found himself squaring off against Alphari in another best-of-5 finals at the end of the mid-season showdown. The week before, in the upper bracket semifinals, Fudge had played 3 games of Scion to help outlast Alphari's Gangplank, Volibear, and Renekton picks, and he had at least managed to prevent Alphari from snowballing against him. But this was the finals, on an outdoor stage under bright lights with no second chance waiting in the lower bracket. The pressure was on. What did Fudge do? He stepped up, flipped the script, and reversed the numbers he'd given up in the lock-in finals, posting plus 749 GXD10 against Alphari over the course of the series. You may have heard some analysts praise Fudge for his wave management and lane setups, and it's hard to appreciate the numbers Fudge put together without understanding what that means. So let's take a close look at a great example from the first game of the series. Fudge had blind-picked Renekton, and Alphari took Scion into it for a scaling tank option. Blabber's jungle path started on the top side, and a ward from Perks confirmed that Armeo was doing the same, so Fudge knew he was in an isolated lane to start things off. He positioned aggressively on the minions and allowed a bad health trade to make sure his third wave crashed into the turret, which allowed him to place a ward on the enemy Krugs for later, because that's where Armeo's second jungle clear would typically start. At 3:45, Fudge sees that Blabber needs help to fight for the topside Scuttle Crab, because Armeo and Jensen want to contest it after Blabber beat them to the bottom crab. Fudge's Renekton has continued to stand forward on the wave, but without actually hitting the minions, so he gets to move down into the river before Alphari and Blabber gets the crab, but crucially, Fudge's minion wave does not push towards the enemy turret while he's helping Blabber out. Because of the drawn-out crab skirmishes, both junglers are now on the top side with their starting camps respawning, and Fudge's wave management from earlier has the second cannon wave bouncing towards him. So Blabber and Fudge use that setup to make a call to gank Alphari, once they see with the Krugs ward from earlier that Armeo isn't in position to defend it. The gank makes Alphari flash, and now Fudge is in a great spot. The wave is still pushing towards him, and Alphari even misses the cannon minion because of Fudge stepping up to threaten a trade. Alphari has to call Armeo to come and help him push the wave to the turret. Otherwise, Fudge can freeze this wave from an ungankable position, while Blabber safely farms himself into an enormous lead. But again, Fudge and Blabber make a smart, aggressive read based on the wave state Fudge has created. They know Alphari needs to crash this wave to avoid a freeze, so Blabber takes a few seconds to steal Armeo's Raptors, and then wraps around behind the Baron Pit to punish. The moment Alphari and Armeo see Blabber's level 5 Udyr on this ward, they want to hit these minions and then back off, because they're scared of Renekton and Udyr winning this 2v2 skirmish. But Fudge sees Armeo take just one step too far forward as Alphari starts channeling his Scion Q, and he instantly pounces, flashing past the Scion Q and stunning Armeo with an empowered W, then finishing the kill as Blabber arrives to get Alphari as well. From here on out, Fudge is in complete control of the top lane matchup. The flash forward was the eye-catching part of Fudge's play, but the entire scenario was created by his careful manipulation of the first 6 waves and his ward on the Krugs camp. That's the kind of intelligence and game understanding Fudge deserves more credit for. Fudge capped off his performance in the series with some strong team fighting and helped set up Perks to take the ball and run with it in the last 2 games to complete C9's comeback and win the series. Now Fudge is going to get a chance to test his growth curve at MSI, and we'll be able to see just how far he's come since competing at Worlds 2019 with Mammoth from the OPL. It's going to be another underdog story, but if Fudge has shown us anything this spring, it's that we should never count him out too early.
These days, everybody's talking about Wild Rift this, Wild Rift that. And You know what's actually wild? The amazing performance you can get with Alienware computers with NVIDIA graphics cards in them. You can go check them out over at alienware.com/Travis, and you can use Travis10 off to save 10%. Also wild that you can do that. They've got some fantastic stuff, including the Alienware M15R4. We love Alienware. Thank you so much for sponsoring my content, and we'll catch you next time.